Just before it boils, the sound goes tight and low. There's a moment right before the roll when it's ready, and I know I lifted off the heat myself and let the roar sit down. The quiet comes back into the room, softer than the sound. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. Not a rush, not a rolling storm, a little less and no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. Everything worth doing slow is better done off boil. The steam comes off in one thin line and leans toward the light. I've stood here every morning now and mostly got it right. There is no clock that runs this part, it's ready when it's ready. I keep my hand around the neck and keep the pouring steady. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. Not a rush, not a rolling storm, a little less and no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. Everything worth doing slow is better done off boil. It cools a shade while I stand still, and that is fine by me. The first pour goes on better when the heat has room to breathe. I tip it slow above the grounds and watch the first one take. There's a whole day still ahead of this, and this is where I wake. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. The morning does the waiting too and asks me for no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. The best part of the whole thing was the minute off the boil. Just enough for one or two, no reason to make more. I only grind what I will use and leave the rest in store. The handle turns a little rough, then smooths out as it goes. A small sound, a steady sound, the kind the morning knows. Grinding a small batch by hand and not in haste. There's a dust of it across the wood and a darker, deeper taste. I could buy it done for me, and I have once or twice, but the slow way has a sound to it that the fast way never buys. I tip it out into my palm and check it with a look. Not too fine, not too coarse, the way it says in the book. Though I stopped reading books on this a long few years ago, my hands have learned the feeling now, and that's the way to know. Grinding a small batch by hand and not in haste. There's a dust of and a darker, deeper taste. I could buy it done for me, and I have once or twice, but the slow way has a sound to it that the fast way never buys. The smell comes up before the water, which is half the point. A little cloud of it hangs there in the morning quiet joint. I brush the counter with my hand, and most of it comes clean. The rest will wait until tonight, like most things in between. Grinding a small batch by hand and not in haste. The morning isn't hurrying, so neither is the taste. There's a dust of it across the wood, and I leave a little there. One small handmade batch of it is worth the extra care. The first pour is the smallest one, just enough to wet it through. And then it lifts the whole dark bed the way it's meant to do. It swells up like it's breathing in and holds there for a while. I've learned to wait that half a breath and meet it with a smile. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. 30 seconds, maybe less, is all it needs to thrive. In the morning that the afternoon denies. A little crust comes up on top and cracks along the seam. The steam climbs through the middle of it, thin as an old dream. Settle back again and know it's ready now. The second pour goes slower still, the kettle showing how. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. 30 seconds maybe It's such a small thing to attend to, and I attend to it. The whole day full of bigger things can wait a minute yet. The bed goes flat, the color deepens, the smell comes up and stays. This is the part I do the same on all my slower days. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. The morning does no hurrying and lets the small things thrive. I don't pour again too soon, I let it have its rise. One slow bloom is worth the wait before my The trick is in the wrist, they say, and maybe that is true. A thin and even line of it is all you have to do. Around the outside, then the middle, slow and never quick. A steady hand, a steady pour is half of the whole trick. A thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. I keep it going even when there's nowhere I need to go. The water finds its way down through the dark and settled ground, and every circle that I make is a small and careful sound. I used to rush this part of it, and it would taste that way, too fast and thin and washed right through and bitter by the day. So now I count it in my head and keep the circle wide. The kettle's light against my hand, the morning on my side. A thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. I keep it going even when there's nowhere I need to go. The water finds its way down through the dark and settled ground, and every circle that I make is a small and careful It's almost full now, almost done, and I could look away. But I have found I'd rather not on a morning made this way. The last few circles slow and low, the level rising true. A thin and steady pour of it is most of what I do. A thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. The morning keeps pour of it is enough for me. It curls up off the narrow neck and leans toward the pane, a thin white line against the light that comes and goes again. I never used to notice it, too busy getting on, but morning slowed down over time, and now I watch it come. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light, warm against a cool clear glass on a slow and easy flight. It doesn't last, it never does. It thins and it is gone, but there's another kettle's worth to watch it ride upon. It bends whenever I breathe near it and rights itself again, a small impatient piece of the room that asks me nothing then. The window's cool, the kettle's warm, and in between the two, that thin white line of rising steam is doing what steam will do. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light, warm against a cool clear glass on a slow and easy flight. It doesn't last, it never does. It thins and it is gone, but there's another kettle's worth to watch it ride upon. I set the kettle down at last, and still it rises on, a little longer than you'd think before the last is gone. And then the glass is clear again, the line has left the air. It was a small thing to have watched, but I was glad I was there. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light. The morning does its rising too, slow and warm and white. It doesn't last, it never does, and that is fine with me. One thin warm line of heavy bass that warms up like itself. The handle's just the right amount for one hand or for two. The glaze has worn along the rim the way old favorites do. The red mug on the counter waiting to be filled, catching all the morning light that the windowsill has spilled. I pour it to the same old line a little below the top, and hold it for a second there before I let it stop. It's nothing special, I suppose, to anybody else. A red mug on a wooden counter warming to itself, but I have had it years enough that it feels like it is mine. The first thing that I reach for when the morning's doing fine. The red mug on the counter waiting to be filled, catching all the morning light that the windowsill has spilled. I pour it to the same old line a little below the top, and hold it for a second there before I let it stop. There's a small chip near the handle that I did years ago, and I could get another one, but somehow never go. It holds the heat, it fits the hand, it's red against the wood, and most of what I ask of it is that it's always stood. The red mug on the counter waiting to be filled. The morning's in no hurry, and the coffee hasn't chilled. I pour it to the same old line the way I always do. One red mug on the counters is enough for two. Sits right at the edge of it, just where the wood runs out. Front paws together, tail curled round, and not a sound about. He watches how I pour the water like it's worth a watch. White fur going warm along the side where the sunlight's caught. A cat at the edge of the table keeping me company. He doesn't ask for anything, and that's the trick, you see. He came in when the kettle sang and settled where he liked. He'll leave again when he's had enough of the morning light. He blinks at half my speed or less, which always seems about right, and leans a little toward the steam, then settles back from the light. He isn't waiting to be fed, he's had that hours ago. He's only here to sit with me and watch the morning go. A cat at the edge of the table keeping me company. He doesn't ask for anything, and that's the trick, you see. He came in when the kettle sang and settled where he liked. He'll leave again when he's had enough of the morning light. I pour a little slower now so he can watch it fall. He tips his head a half an inch, and that is nearly all. And when the mug is finally full, he gives a slow, contented sigh, and I know exactly how he feels. The cat and I, a cat at the edge of the table, keeping me company. The morning's in no hurry, and neither one are we. He came in when the kettle sang and stayed to watch me pour. One quiet cat, one quiet cat, and nothing wanting more. They live in a glass jar by the window, so I see them going down. A little lower every week, from the top ring to the crown. The morning light comes through the glass and warms them where they sit. I scoop out just enough for now and screw the lid back tight. Coffee beans in a glass jar, dark against the light, smelling of somewhere warmer that I've never seen outright. I take a small scoop every day and watch the level fall, and when it's low I fill it up and barely think at all. There's a country and a hillside somewhere in each one, a long way from this window and this quiet bit of sun. I don't know all the names of it, the farm, the road, the rain, but some of it comes through the glass and through the jar again. Coffee beans in a glass jar, dark against the light, smelling of somewhere warmer that I've never seen outright. I take a small scoop every day and watch the level fall, and when it's low I fill it up and barely think at all. it gives that small suck of air each time I twist it free. A little sound I've come to like as much as any tea. I scoop, I close, I set it back against the warming pane. And tomorrow, same as always, I will scoop it out again. Coffee beans in a glass jar, dark against the light. The morning takes its time with them and keeps the level right. I take a small scoop every day and screw it shut once more. One glass jar against the window is what the mornings are for. It slows right down toward the end of it, from a stream into a thread, then a drip and then a longer wait between each one instead. I could lift the cone off early, and most days I don't. The last of it is weak or sure, but leaving it I won't. The last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time, hanging there and letting go in its own slow rhyme. There's no more water left to pour, it's finding its own way. The very end of the whole thing is the quietest part of the day. The bed has gone from black to brown and settled flat and low. The paper's dark around the edge where all the waters flowed, and one more drop and one more wait and one more after that, until the cone is only damp, and that at last is that. The last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time, hanging there and letting go in its own slow rhyme. There's no more water left to pour, it's finding its own way. The very end of the whole thing is the quietest part of the day. And then it's done, the last is fallen, and the cone gives nothing more. I lift it off and set it down beside the sink as before. The mug is full, the morning's here, the making of it through, and the last slow drop of all of it was the best part. If you knew the last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time, the morning waited out the end with no reason and no rhyme. There's no more water left to pour and nowhere left to be. One last drop through the cone is the end of it for me. It's done at last and warm in hand, and I could drink it here, standing at the counter where the making of it's clear. But I carry it across the room to where the window is, and that small walk of 10 warm steps is a morning kind of bliss. Carrying it to the window, slow, so none of it spills, where the light comes in the widest, and the coffee morning stills. Not the end of anything, just the good part getting here. The cup is warm, the morning's long, and the window's very near. The cat has beat me to it and is sitting in the sun. I find the other half of the sill when the carrying is done. The first sip's always the best one because I made it slow, and there's a whole day still ahead that I'm in no rush to go. Carrying it to the window, slow, so none of it spills, where the light comes in the widest, and the coffee morning stills. Not the end of anything, just the good part getting here. The cup is warm, the morning's long, and the window's very near. And I would have made it worse. The slow way is the whole of it, the making is the verse. And now it's here beside the glass and warm against my hand, the last thing in the morning list that went the way I planned. Carrying it to the window, slow, so none of it spills. The morning did no hurrying, and neither did the hills. Not the end of anything, just the warm parts settling in. One slow cup beside the window is a good way to I catch it just before it boils. The sound goes tight and low. There's a moment right before the roll when it's ready, and I know I lift it off the heat myself and let the roar sit down. The quiet comes back into the room, softer than the sound. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. Not a rush, not a rolling storm, a little less, no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. Everything worth doing slow is better done off boil. The steam comes off in one thin line and leans toward the light. I've stood here every morning now and mostly got it right. There is no clock that runs this part, it's ready when it's ready. I keep my hand around the neck and keep the pouring steady. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. Not a rush, not a rolling storm, a little less and no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. Everything worth doing slow is better done off boil. It cools a shade while I stand still, and that is fine by me. The first pour goes on better when the heat has room to breathe. I tip it slow above the ground and watch the first one take. There's a whole day still ahead of this, and this is where I wake. Water just off the boil, that's the part I wait for. The morning does the waiting too and asks me for no more. I hold it for a second there and let it settle low. The best part of the whole thing was the minute off the boil. Just enough for one or two, no reason to make more. I only grind what I will use and leave the rest in store. The handle turns a little rough, then smooths out as it goes. A small sound, a steady sound, the kind the morning knows. Grind in a small batch, by hand and not in haste. There's a dust of it across the wood and a darker, deeper taste. I could buy it done for me, and I have once or twice. But the slow way has a sound to it that the fast way never buys. I tip it out into my palm and check it with a look. Not too fine, not too coarse, the way it says in the book. Though I stopped reading books on this a long few years ago, my hands have learned the feeling now, and that's the way to know. Grinding a small batch, by hand and not in haste. There's a dust of it across the wood and a darker, deeper taste. I could buy it done for me, and I have once or twice. But the slow way has a sound to it that the fast way never buys. The smell comes up before the water, which is half the point. A little cloud of it hangs there in the morning quiet joint. I brush the counter with my hand, and most of it comes clean. The rest will wait until tonight, like most things in between. Grinding a small batch, by hand and not in haste. The morning isn't hurrying, so neither is the taste. There's a dust of it across the wood, and I leave a little there. One small handmade batch of it is worth the extra care. The smallest one, just enough to wet it through, and then it lifts the whole dark bed the way it's meant to do. It swells up like it's breathing in and holds there for a while. I've learned to wait that half a breath and meet it with a smile. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. 30 seconds, maybe less, is all it needs to thrive. I don't pour again too soon, I let it have its rise. There's a patience in the morning that the afternoon denies. A little crust comes up on top and cracks along the seam. The steam climbs through the middle of it, thin as an old dream. I watch it settle back again and know it's ready now. The second pour goes slower still, the kettle's showing how. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. 30 seconds, maybe less, is all it needs to thrive. I don't pour again too soon, I let it have its rise. There's a patience in the morning that the afternoon denies. It's such a small thing to attend to, and I attend to it. The whole day full of bigger things, can't wait a minute yet. The bed goes flat, the color deepens, the smell comes up and stays. This is the part I do the same on all my slower days. The first bloom in the filter, rising like it's alive. The morning does no hurrying and lets the small things thrive. I don't pour again too soon, I let it have its right. One slow bloom is worth the wait before my eyes. The trigger's in the wrist, they say, and maybe that is true. A thin and even line of it is all you have to do. Around the outside, then the middle, slow and never quit. A steady hand, a steady pour is half of the whole trick. A thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. I keep it going even when there's nowhere I need to go. every circle that I make is a small and careful sound. I used to rush this part of it, and it would taste that way, too fast and thin and washed right through and bitter by the day. So now I count it in my head and keep the circle wide. The kettle's light against my hand, the morning on my side, a thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. I keep it going even when there's nowhere I need to go. The water finds its way down through the dark and settled ground, and every circle that I make is a small and careful sound. Almost full now, almost done, and I could look away, but I have found I'd rather not on a morning made this way. The last few circles slow and low, the level rising true, a thin and steady pour is most of what I do. A thin and steady pour, circling slow and low. The morning keeps no hurry up and lets the water go. I keep it going even when there's nowhere I need to be. One thin and steady pour of it is enough for me. It curls up off the narrow neck and leans toward the pane, a thin white line against the light that comes and goes again. I never used to notice it, too busy getting on, but mornings slow down over time, and now I watch it come. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light, warm against a cool, clear glass on a slow and easy flight. It doesn't last, it never does, it thins and it is gone, but there's another kettle's worth to watch it ride upon. It bends whenever I breathe near it and rights itself again, a small and patient piece of the room that asks me nothing then. The window's cool, the kettle's warm, and in between the two, that thin white line of rising steam is doing what steam will do. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light, warm against a cool, clear glass on a slow and easy flight. It doesn't last, it never does. It thins and it is gone, but there's another kettle's worth to watch it ride upon. Before the last is gone, and then the glass is clear again. The line has left the air. It was a small thing to have watched, but I was glad I was there. Steam off the kettle neck, rising in the light. The morning does its rising too, slow and warm and white. It doesn't last, it never does, and that is fine with me. One thin, warm line of steam was enough to see. It's the one I always reach for, though I've others in the shelf. A red one with a heavy base that warms up like itself. The handle's just the right amount for one hand or for two. The glaze has worn along the rim the way old favorites do. The red mug on the counter, waiting to be filled, catching all the morning light that the windowsill has spilled. I pour it to the same old line, a little below the top, and hold it for a second there before I let it stop. It's nothing special, I suppose, to anybody else. A red mug on a wooden counter, warming to itself. But I have had it years enough that it feels like it is mine. The first thing that I reach for when the morning's doing fine. The red mug on the counter, waiting to be filled, catching all the morning light that the windowsill and hold it for a second there before I let it start. There's a small chip near the handle that I did years ago, and I could get another one, but somehow never go. It holds the heat, it fits the hand, it's red against the wood, and most of what I ask of it is that it's always stood. The red mug on the counter, waiting to be filled. The morning's in no hurry, and the coffee hasn't chilled. I pour it to the same old line, the way I always do. One red mug on the counter is enough for two. He sits right at the edge of it, just where the wood runs out. Front paws together, tail curled round, and not a sound about. He watches how I pour the water like it's worth a watch. White fur going warm along the side where the sunlight's caught. A cat at the edge of the table, keeping me company. He doesn't ask for anything, and that's the trick, you see. He came in when the kettle sang and settled where he liked. He'll leave again when he's had enough of the morning light. He blinks at half my speed or less, which always seems about right, and leans a little toward the steam, then settles back from the light. He isn't waiting to be fed, he's had that hours ago. He's only here to sit with me and watch the morning go. A cat at the edge of the table, He'll leave again when he's had enough of the morning light. It fall. He tips his head a half an inch, and that is nearly all. And when the mug is finally full, he gives a slow, contented sigh. And I know exactly how he feels, the cat and I. A cat at the edge of the table, keeping me company. The morning's in no hurry, and neither one are we. He came in when the kettle sang and stayed to watch me pour. One quiet cat, one quiet cup, and nothing wanting more. They live in a glass jar by the window, so I see them going down a little lower every week, from the top ring to the crown. The morning light comes through the glass and warms them where they sit. I scoop out just enough for now and screw the lid back tight. Coffee beans in a glass jar, dark against the light, smelling of somewhere warmer that I've never seen outright. I take a small scoop every day and watch the level fall, and when it's low I fill it up and barely think at all. There's a country and a hillside somewhere in each one, a long way from this window and this quiet bit of sun. I don't know all the names of it, the farm, the road, the rain, but some of it comes through the glass and through the jar again. Coffee beans in a somewhere warmer that I've never seen outright. I take a small scoop every day and watch the level fall, and when it's low I fill it up and barely think at all. The lid gives that small suck of air each time I twist it free. A little sound I've come to like as much as any tea. I scoop, I close, I set it back against the warming pane, and tomorrow, same as always, I will scoop it out again. Coffee beans in a glass jar, dark against the light. The morning takes its time with them and keeps the level right. I take a small scoop every day and screw it shut once more. One glass jar against the window is what the mornings are for. It slows right down toward the end of it, from a stream into a thread, then a drip, and then a longer wait between each one instead. I could lift the cone off early, and most days I don't. The last of it is weak or short, but leaving it I won't. The last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time, hanging there and letting go in its own slow rhyme. There's no more water left to pour, it's finding its own way. The very end of the whole thing is the quietest part of the day. The bed is gone from black to brown and settled flat and low. The paper's dark around the edge where all the waters flow. And one more drop and one more wait and one more after that, until the cone is only damp, and that at last is that. The last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time, hanging there and letting go in its own slow rhyme. There's no more water left to pour, it's finding its own way. The very end of the whole thing is the quietest part of the day. has fallen and the cone gives nothing more. I lift it off and set it down beside the sink as before. The mug is full, the morning's here, the making of it through. And the last slow drop of all of it was the best part if you knew. The last drop through the cone, taking its own sweet time. The morning waited out the end with no reason and no rhyme. There's no more water left to pour and nowhere left to be. One last drop through the cone is the end of it for me. It's done at last and warm in hand, and I could drink it here, standing at the counter where the making of it's clear. But I carry it across the room to where the window is, and that small walk of 10 warm steps is a morning kind of bliss. Carrying it to the window slow, so none of it spills. Where the light comes in the widest, and the coffee morning stills. Not the end of anything, just the good part getting here. The cup is warm, the morning's long, and the window's very near. The cat has beat me to it and is sitting in the sun. I find the other half of the sill when the carrying is done. The first sip's always the best one, because I made it slow, and there's a whole day still ahead that I'm in no rush to go. Carrying it to the window slow, so none of it spills. Where the light comes in the widest, and the coffee morning stills. Not the end of anything, just the good part getting here. The cup is warm, the morning's long, and the window's very near. I could have made it quicker, and I would have made it worse. The slow way is the whole of it, the making is the verse. And now it's here beside the glass and warm against my hand. The last thing in the morning list that went the way I planned. Carrying it to the window slow, so none of it spills. The morning did no hurry did the hills. Not the end of anything, just the warm parts settling in. One slow cup beside the window is a good way to begin.